Holy shit, 100k? It's time to try and take tactical advantage and invest. And now this time I'll be discussing why Johnny Lawrence deep down had his moments of Miyagi Do within him, and how he and Miyagi Do are just as deadly of a combo as Johnny and Cobra Kai, and how in reality both dojos defined Johnny and formed him into the perfect sensei he is today. I guess the first real indication that Johnny and Miyagi Do have a connection is that Johnny during the Karate Kid movies hesitates after Kreese tells him to sweep the leg. However, the main reason he does this anyway is because he wants to win and is desperate to try and get his girl back. And yet despite this, he gets kicked in the face, strangled by his sensei, and that's where he hits rock bottom. Johnny goes on to party throughout most of his adulthood until he realizes that he's got to get his shit together, and he can't just let one karate tournament define who he is. Just because he lost once doesn't mean he's a loser. He needs to get back up and win, and decides to use the money his stepdaddy uses to buy Johnny out of his life to reform the one thing that set him on a decent path in life in the first place, that being Cobra Kai. And as you know, we see Johnny trying to set himself on a better path by teaching kids how to be badass and giving them confidence. This leads into kids like Miguel, Aisha, and Eli, who were basically in Daniel's position in Karate Kid 1, shifted from the kid who got bullied to someone who can defend themselves and be themselves. And like how I said in my Daniel video, notice how Daniel is the one trying to specifically gun at Johnny in contrast to what happened in Karate Kid, where it was Johnny who started it. It's like the writers purposely put them on the opposite ends of each other. And this is displayed perfectly in episode 7, where Johnny fights for the All Valley in order for Cobra Kai to participate. And this whole scene is just Daniel farting on Johnny in his dojo, but despite that, he convinces the All Valley to let him in. But the fact that Johnny managed to keep all that under control and being happy that karate is back in his life just goes to show you how balance could push a person forward. However, that's when this happens. After he sees his son being trained by the one person he hates the most, he decides to say screw it all and use no mercy. Johnny's rage enters the kids' mind, and now they think that using no mercy is okay when in reality it isn't. And this is when season 2 hits Johnny with his next arc, which is to teach the kids what he learned, which was balance. He just acquired balance and it was all ruined for him, but now he's going to be getting that back and also teaching the kids balance as well. You see, Johnny's at a point where he's forming his own philosophy, and those kids can be a badass and still learn how to fight with aggression. They don't have to be losers like Miyagi Do, but they don't have to show no mercy just like Kreese does. This is due to him quite literally going through the pain himself with his sensei, but yet despite this, he shows mercy to Kreese and tries to get him to snap out of it himself. It's sad here because Johnny is willing to do what it takes to try and form himself into a better man, and he shows mercy to the most merciless man on earth, well, at least in Johnny's perspective, and it's all because of his balance lessons and how it affected him into a positive manner. However, but we have people like Kreese manipulating the old Cobra Kai way back into its former glory, plus when Johnny for the whole season was trying to reach out to Miguel just for his own son to be the one to show no mercy has to be something Johnny probably thinks about to this day. And Johnny's failure was set up from the start. The sheer concept of what happened at the school fight just sounds awful, and we see how this affects him. Which now leads me into season 3, aka Johnny's best season, or his road of redemption I like to call it. Johnny is back at square one, causing a ruckus in bars and getting nearly put in jail. Luckily, LaRusso comes in to have Johnny help him find Robby, which leads into Johnny getting way more violent and going too far. The two engage in a fight which leads into Johnny storming off, and this is just the beginning of their conflict this season as we see them gradually get more and more annoyed at each other while Johnny goes on to snap at his son for what he did to Miguel and beforehand fucked up his first interaction with Miguel when he wakes up. But Johnny redeems himself by taking Miguel back to basics while trying to constantly reach out to Robby during the season, which we all know how that goes. However, with Miguel, we see how just like in season 1, Johnny lifts himself back up and becomes better than ever, thanks to not only Miguel but also Carmen for helping him fill that void in his heart that's been stuck there since Karate Kid 1. Instead of using his rage as a weapon, he finds that gray spot he was talking about in season 2 that he wanted the kids to also find as well. However, as he finds this balance, we see how Johnny still has something holding him back, and that's what he and Robby's relationship, or lack thereof, since Johnny in Robby's eyes never cared, and Johnny himself saw that clearly in the season 3 finale. And that's where we head into season 4. We have Johnny initially rising up to the occasion and becoming the hero of the story, just for him to suffer defeat just like how he did in Karate Kid 1, but just like how he did before, he gets back up and even stronger than ever, and finally got the closure that he desperately needed ever since Karate Kid 1. And now we have Miguel learning deep down Robby and Johnny are father and son, and that Johnny is always going to just have a different relationship than he does with Miguel, since that's his legitimate son that he's been trying to make up with ever since he gave up on him. And now Johnny has to see Robby for most of the season be on the opposing side as him and believing Johnny is the one holding him back, which he tells Johnny straight to his face. However, after realizing what Kenny's become under his influence, he understands he's on the wrong side and decides to hug it out with his father. And even despite all this, Johnny tries blaming himself as he still sees himself as the problem due to him giving up day one. And I've said this in multiple videos already, this is the saddest scene in the goddamn series for me and still brings tears to my eyes every single time. And it's safe to say by season 4, Johnny Lawrence has finally obtained balance, or the closest thing he's gonna get to balance for now, as he still has to settle some stuff with Miguel, but we'll cover that when that actually comes out. Thank you guys for watching once again, and please share some support on this video just like how you did with the Daniel one. It would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you all later.